When we talk about getting ready for our jumps, we kind of have to tackle this the same way that we do our turns. You need to be able to do each of the steps properly while you are on the ground flat. So if you're jumping for, say, a grand jeté, you should have your splits on the ground. If you're jumping for things like a stag leap, you should be able to have a nice solid passe and a back attitude, or a front attitude, back attitude, depending what kind you're doing. You should be able to have a very strong arabesque in order to be able to do these jumps. Now, that all takes time. The average dancer that first comes into a dance studio doesn't have that. But that doesn't mean that we neglect our jumps. We typically will start working on two-footed jumps, and we implement our pliés. So in ballet, we do our temps levés, where we have our temps levés sautés in first, and we do those in second and fourth and fifth. And that sets us up for being able to take off and land. Those are great to practice. It gives you a good control and a good feel of where the floor is located and how your body moves in the air. Now, for my dancers in like pre-jazz hip-hop and even ballet, we need to make sure that we are still able to jump in other ways. Now, pre-jazz hip-hop and like the hip-hop series of classes usually is a bit more open and relaxed in some of the technique aspects. So we take that two-footed jump and we make that part of some of the other jumps. And we just see what we're able to do. Now, this is not the way everybody trains, but I have found that in recent years, many dancers are afraid to leave the floor. So it's good to practice adding a temps levé, get that temps levé sauté into the jump, and then strike a pose in the air. It takes some of the fear of leaving the floor, and you're not stressed out yet about the technical aspects of some of the other jumps. So a few things to try would be jump together and try to get your feet to go two different directions. So you can go, and it's like a baby stag leap. Another good jump that many of my newer dancers really enjoy are things like hitch kicks. They can be done straight leg, or passe straight leg, but it allows dancer control. And it allows us to not be afraid of leaving the ground. And we can keep them smaller. So we would pull our foot up to passe, and we jump and switch. Now, yes, that is a more technically difficult step because you have to take off from one foot and switch. But when you're first starting out, you need to sometimes also not have that fear. And you are practicing that passe. You're practicing transferring of weight. And it's kept so small that it's far less scary to work on. So all these things are a great way to start. That way you can get your body ready for when we really dive into the technical stuff, which means tomorrow we are going to be talking about how to prep for all of your jumps from a technically accurate standpoint. I will see you then.